Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Cubing Bear, and welcome to today's video. Today, I'm showing you how to lube and set up a GAN cube. You can also use this tutorial to learn how to set up and lube any 3x3, but for today's video, we're going to try to set up the GAN 14M Pro. Now, if you guys have seen in my previous review, you guys have probably already seen in my review that I set up the cube already, but ever since then, it has become a little bit sluggish, and I really want to just take it apart and really go back and lube and show you guys how I do that process. So if you have your 3x3 already, go ahead and take it out and let's break it apart. We're gonna grab any 3x3 that you want, and we're gonna go ahead and break it apart. So a really simple way of breaking these cubes apart is you can separate both corners, grab that edge piece and twist it, and then you can pull it off, and that gets a piece out. So now that we have the core, the first thing we want to do with the core is we want to go ahead and clean it out. So we're gonna go ahead and grab some paper towel. We're gonna go ahead and grab our paper towel, and we're just gonna, let the paper towel sink in, grab any unnecessary lube that we've had in the past. It really is all about just making sure the cube is clean so it can be ready for some fresh lube. So we're just making sure to do that right now. And the core feels good, feels clean. Now let's get onto the pieces. So with the pieces, it's just like any other cleaning process. You just make sure you're rubbing every part of the piece with the towel, and do that for all the pieces. And then we'll begin putting it together. So that's your first step. Make sure you clean out the cube. So now that we have all the pieces that are thoroughly cleaned, everything is ready to go for us to start lubing. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to pick the lubes that we want to use. So in my case, I really like using the Mystic lube. I really like using the Mystic lube from the Cubicle, as well as Reagent A and Reagent B of Cubicle Solaritas, and of course the two most goated lubes of all time, using Angstrom Dignitas and Gravitas. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with these two first. And first of all, what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to reassemble the entire cube. So let's do that right now. So once you have reached this part in your assembly process for the 3x3, this is where I like to put the Angstrom Dignitas. I like to put the more thicker Angstrom Dignitas right between here where the pieces touch one another. And I like to put the Gravitas a little bit higher up where the pieces are, where the honeycomb design is. So we're gonna get started with that first. We're actually gonna grab our corner piece, because that's gonna be one of the most important pieces. So we're gonna grab a corner piece just like this, and we're going to apply the Angstrom Dignitas and Gravitas. Okay, so here we have the Angstrom Gravitas. It's going to go right here. So you want to find those contact points. So where is there the most friction internally in the cube? And that's the part you want to coat with the Angstrom Gravitas and Dignitas. Well, in this case, just the Gravitas. Okay, and we're gonna go over to our edge piece now. We're gonna put them right here. Same thing with the other edge. It's okay to be very generous with it, since we're using a fast cube like the GAN 14. It's gonna be okay to go a little bit heavy on the lube. Okay, there we go. Now what we can do now is we can grab our, I think this is the Dignitas, and we can start coating it right here. And you just want to coat over these pieces that have contact points. Almost like you're painting the cube white. Go ahead and grab this piece right here. Well, that's our last piece, so we're gonna be okay with that. We're gonna start put this edge in. Okay. And the same way that we took out an edge before by twisting and putting in, we're gonna twist and then put in. So we're just gonna be very careful. And this will require a little bit of force. It's always that last edge piece that needs the most work. All right, just make sure you wipe down the cube now. Since you want to make sure that none of the lube is escaping. Let's go ahead and give it some first turns right there. We're still not done lubing, but it's good to give it a little bit of a practice solve. All right, let's give the cube we'll give it 3 solves and then we'll see where we're at. All right, so now that we've had a chance to give it a couple of solves, this is the time where you want to really feel your cube and see what do you need to improve on. Do you want to slow it down? Do you want to speed it up? In my case, I think I want to improve a little bit more on the speed of this cube. It feels fast at some points and sluggish at some other points, so I'm going to try to find the layer that needs the most support in speeding up and just give it a few drops of reagent A, reagent B. So we're going to actually put that in right now. But first we need to add like a couple drops of reagent A. So we're going to put 2 drops of reagent A. We're gonna have to give it one complete solve. So let's give it one complete solve. Oh, we already got a bop. Let's go ahead and put our 2 drops of reagent B. And let's give it a couple of solves. Cool. So we're getting there where I wanted to be at. I guess the final step that we're going to go ahead and do. So the final step, my final step is going to be to add the cubicle mystic. So that is going to be the final piece to this puzzle here. The final piece to the GAN era of speed cubing. So here we are. Let's just spread it all over the cube. Awesome. So with a little bit of testing here and there of multiple things, we were able to get it down exactly where we wanted to go. Remember, the most important thing is that you give it a very basic general setup in the beginning when you're first setting up the cube. Then once you reassemble the puzzle fully, you give it a couple of solves to break in the lube you already put in. Once you finish breaking in that lube, making sure that you use your other lubes to kind of hone in that feel that you want, that feel of all the lubes that you want with all your cubes, is going to be the best way for you to gather yourself as to what you want. I really hope that you guys learned a thing or two from watching this video. If you guys did, be sure to go and leave a comment below how you set up your Rubik's Cubes, and I'd love to hear more methods and maybe even try them out here in this maybe like setting up series. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial, be sure to go ahead and give the video a like. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications. Comment down below your favorite cube setup, and I'll see y'all in the next one. It's a Cube and Bro out. Peace out, guys.